Anyone else have a bunch of filled notebooks on the shelf or in a box, but you don't know what's inside them? That's my situation with these Moleskine notebooks here. And in the first video of this series, I started fixing that problem by flipping through old sketchbooks and adding a table of contents to the cover. Today, I'll be continuing that work in part 2 of this series. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual. I'm your host, Doug Neill, and I'm on a mission to bring visual thinking on par with reading and writing as a fundamental skill to help you make sense of the world so that you can thrive within it. In my last video, I looked at how you can use sticky notes and index cards as a deep thinking tool, how you can make use of those small chunks and the modularity to work with a set of interesting ideas. What we've got here is a different way of capturing ideas, one that's bound and linear, which can also serve an important purpose on your visual thinking journey, specifically around the habit of sketching things out. And actually, where I would like to start today is with a sketchbook that had a cover, but that it's falling off. Daily drawings from July of 2013 to July of 2014. Let's see what we find here. I can't remember if this is my first daily drawing journal or if there's one that came before it, but I remember starting it just as a way to practice my drawing skills, drawing freehand, going straight to pen. I'm pretty sure even at that time I was using the Pentel Energel 0.7 metal tip. This was from a family vacation to San Francisco, a seafood restaurant in Sausalito, having a Martinelli's apple juice at lunch, playing bocce ball in the park. Apparently my dad and I won. The chair and table on the second floor patio of the house we were staying at. Having some Italian roast coffee at Cafe Trieste, a famous coffee shop in the North Beach neighborhood of San Francisco. If I remember correctly, that's where a lot of the authors of the Beat generation gathered to hang out and talk about writing. Visiting the Contemporary Jewish Museum, exploring Beat memories, the Golden Gate Bridge, the part of it I could see at least, salt and pepper shakers at Burger Barn in California during the trip back to Oregon, coffee cobbler and ice cream at Heaven on Earth, and then the wooden bench on the front deck of my parents' house, making it home after another successful family vacation. Now, what you'll see here are more detailed illustrations than what you typically see in my visual thinking work. The way I most frequently approach my work is with the goal of creating a visual model, sketching out some sort of a diagram or drawing that can serve as the container for a whole set of ideas. Sometimes you can use a single object like a bench or salt and pepper shakers or a coffee mug as a visual metaphor, but you can also use them, similar to how I've used them here, as an entry point into a specific memory or into a specific story. For example, if I was capturing some details about the Beat generation authors, I could have used a sketch from Cafe Trieste as an anchor to that scene. So what we're getting at here is a deeper level of specificity around individual objects. There was a period of time where I drew every book after I read it, like the book Author, Publisher, Entrepreneur. I captured the day I picked up a Square card reader in order to be able to charge clients and customers, feeling like a real entrepreneur now. The best backpacking companion out there, a French press mug from REI. I've got a lot of great memories with that mug. Making coffee out on the trail. Going for a hike along the Wildwood Trail in Forest Park. My new favorite marker for large-scale graphic recording after a successful gig with Nike. In my career, I have only done a handful of graphic recording gigs, but one of them was with the Jordan brand at Nike way back in 2013. And that must have been the first time that I started using these Permapaque markers, which are now my go-to for large-scale work. Some failed first attempts at drawing this canister here for an upcoming backpacking trip. Here's the hammock that we had on our front porch in the St. John's neighborhood of Portland. Coffee cups, tents and camping at Carl Lake in the Mount Jefferson Wilderness area. And there is Mount Jefferson itself. We got to hike along the PCT during that trip. Drying shirts and towel after a dip in the lake. Attempting to capture some larger scale scenery, something that I'm not very good at. And there's the camper's kitchen. And acres of forest fire remnants. A delicious cup of coffee at Random Order Pie Bar on Alberta in Northeast Portland. That was a go-to spot for me for a couple years. I don't think it exists there anymore. Note that I totally messed up on the proportions of this mug, but that's okay. Drawing a boat in Astoria, Oregon. Swag from WDS 2013. If there are any other attendees or volunteers from the World Domination Summit watching, let me know. Finished another book. This one, On Writing by Stephen King. A great book about writing. And I know that I've captured some of the ideas from that book in a different sketchbook that focused more on note-taking. So this is where you can have different sets of materials for different purposes. You can have your sticky notes and index cards when you're working through something complex and you need to be able to move around all those ideas. You can keep a visual journal just to practice your drawing skills and capture some memories. And maybe you have another sketchbook that's just for kind of your running note-taking. Not necessarily for a big project, just to capture individual ideas that you're learning each day. Oh, here's a good memory. Reading Brandy Agrebeck's book, The Graphic Facilitator's Guide. This book helped me out when I was just starting to do in-person graphic recording because she breaks down the craft really well. And at the time, I was just getting started with doing my own videos with an overhead camera, and that's the setup that I used. I must have just picked up all the equipment that I needed for that overhead shot. Here's a fancy pen with my name inscribed on it, given to me as a high school graduation gift. And then we get to the start of a road trip. I believe this was a solo road trip that I took out to Colorado to visit some friends that I met at WDS, visiting some family in Enterprise, sketching out the tomatoes on their porch. I did a backpacking trip up into the Eagle Cap Wilderness, where the Wallowa Mountains are, a beautiful part of eastern Oregon. There it is. Finishing on the road during that road trip, breakfast at Rula's Cafe, happy hour at West End Tavern in Boulder. And even if you're just drawing the logos of cafes or taverns, that can be a fun little memory. The Laughing Goat, coffee shop for a work session. Trident, what I think is a pretty famous bookstore in Boulder. Ozo Coffee, last day in Boulder. Good Karma Jar and Telluride. That's a beautiful place to visit. Ended up doing a 14-mile hike out of Telluride. Explored Mesa Verde National Park a couple days later. One night staying in a hotel. Dinner and drinks with a friend near Arches National Park. Drawn Mesa Arch in Canyonlands. Stay at a small log cabin. Sandstone Rocks near Canyonville, Utah. Backpacker's essential gear of a lighter. Exploring Bryce Canyon. Failing at drawing hoodoos. Ruby's Inn for lunch. Angel's Landing, which I was not brave enough to get to the narrowest part of that hike. I'm way too afraid of heights for that. Making it back to the Oregon coast, staying at the Adobe, in time to celebrate my grandma's 99th birthday. I think that was the last day of this road trip. Sketching out my daily driver backpack, the mobile printer that I once used to print and edit essays that I was writing, finishing A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, about hiking the Appalachian Trail, the bar at Anna Bananas in St. John's, Portland, the scanner that I used for many, many years to capture high-quality images of notebooks like these, dinner at the local coffee shop, locking up the bike outside Albina Press Coffee on Hawthorne in southeast Portland, another favorite spot of mine, breaking out the guitar and tuner for the first time in a while, finishing Everything's an Author, illustrated by TEDx friend Gary Hirsch. It's a great book. Breakfast nook at my parents' place in Pleasant Hill. The remnants of a good evening. Must have had some friends over for drinks that night. A notebook gifted to me by some friends who I walked the Camino de Santiago with. That was another great trip. I did a lot of traveling back then. Less so now, it feels. One of my early tablets, the Bamboo, which I used for some digital drawing. Waiting to get a haircut. Draw on a boat in Bellingham Bay. Bubble tea in Seattle, visiting my old neighborhood in southeast Portland, taking the train from Portland to Eugene. Another year of volunteering as an ambassador at the World Domination Summit. And then I think this was a featured image for a blog post that I wrote about visual journaling, in which I probably shared a bunch of images from this notebook right here and called it a playground plus a laboratory. So let's riff on that for a little bit. First, let's talk about that playground piece. I do think it's important and useful for you as a visual thinker to have a place where you can freely make marks without it being directed toward a specific project with a specific objective. That can bring a certain amount of pressure to it because you have a place you want to get to. The nice thing about a visual journal like this is that there really is no destination. The whole purpose of keeping a journal like this is to focus specifically on the moment that's in front of you, the thing that's in front of you right now. Draw it to the best of your ability, write a little bit about it, and then move on and do the same thing the next day. And have fun with it. Treat it as a playground. But then also treat it as a laboratory, as a place where you can experiment with different drawing techniques, different visualization methods. If you're not particularly interested in doing detailed drawings like this, you could instead pick one thing that you're thinking about right now and just capture that in some sort of a diagram. You could practice building mini visual models on each page. You could also experiment with different tools, different pen styles, different color combinations. And when you do that daily practicing in a notebook like this, you then have some nice memories that you get to flip back through. And you'll likely remember where you were standing or sitting when you created these sketches. It can be a fun thing to look back on, to remind you of past trips, past eras of life and work, memories that hit a little bit different when you have captured them by making your own marks on the page instead of just snapping a quick photograph. So my encouragement for you at the end of this second sketchbook tour video, if you don't already have a place where you can do some playful and experimental daily drawing, find that place. Pick up a small moleskin notebook. This is the kind with thick pages that I really like. Or you could even go with one of those field notes style books that's even smaller and can fit in your pocket. And then at some point in your day, maybe during a time when you typically would whip out your phone and flip through social media, instead pull out that sketchbook, look around you, think about what's going on, and do some sort of a sketch to capture that particular moment. I think you'll find that to be a meaningful way to engage with the world around you. And if you're interested in using your drawing skills, not just for the purpose of visual journaling, but also for the purpose of learning, problem solving, and communicating interesting ideas, that's exactly what we focus on inside of Verbal to Visual, where we've got a full curriculum of complete at your own pace online courses and weekly live workshops, where you can ask questions, get feedback on your work, and be inspired by the visual thinking work of others around the globe. You can learn more at verbaltovisual.com, and you can use the code SKETCHITOUT for 20% off. Thanks for joining me on this walk down memory lane, and I'll see you again in another video soon. Till then. I just realized I should probably add more details besides just the dates. So on the back, let's go. Family trip to San Francisco, life in PDX, hiking road trip to Colorado. There's one more book archived.